have y'all seen what the fuck been going on in Texas? So you mean to tell me that this is just rain? This is somebody's house floating like a toy down the street. Y'all see this shit? This is not how Texas is supposed to be looking in the middle of summer. Now let me make it even more real for you. 20 kids gone from a summer camp. Not injured, not stuck, just straight up missing. And if that ain't enough, there's also 13 people confirmed unalive. Families wiped out, with parents waiting to hear if their kids or family members made it out. You got people stuck at home with water up to their necks, begging for help while they're live on social media. I got my dad on hospice and I can't get him out. That's what this woman said as water started to pour into her home. And you think that's content? Nah, bro, that's real life. And this shit is going on right now, happening to real people. Ain't no drill for that. No forecast could have prepared anyone for this type of disaster. And while the world keeps it pushing, there's families in Texas losing everything right now. Look, I'm gonna say this one time. Don't wait for the news to tell you what matters. Check on your people, be aware, and do not take peace and safety for granted. Because one storm could flip your whole life upside down. So leave some prayer hands in the comments so we can send our prayers to Texas. And make sure to follow if you haven't already.
And it was just the little children that was floating away. It's what got me. I didn't care about my home or my possessions. I really didn't care about me. It was just those children that were always watching in RVs running. Lights were still on because it was powered by the batteries, but it already pulled the cord out, and had other friends down there that I knew on the island. They got washed away. My buddy tried to get down there and save some and throw some kits to him, and the man wouldn't throw them, and that family of 5 went. And small stretch down there of just 500 or 600 yards. There's about 75, 80 homes that wadded up in about a 300, 400 yard stretch. They all wadded up. About 25 tiny homes, and the rest were RVs and fifth wheels and all that kind of stuff. And like I said, it wasn't the possessions and losses, just all those screaming kids we had to listen to that we couldn't get to and couldn't save them. And water rose, 28 foot in 45 minutes, and not much you can do. But we're all here, and we're going to find what we can find, and to give some of these families closure, you know, and that's all we can do. That's all we can do. We're here. We'll get through it. Lord will get us through it. Lord says, I'll take these disasters and I'll turn them into good. The Lord allows and he doesn't allow. He allowed this to happen. He still sits on the throne, and he allowed this to happen. He allowed this to happen. He will turn this around, and he'll bring good out of this, like he's doing right now. And it's sad it takes tragedies like this to bring people together, but good's going to come out of this. God promises that, and he don't like it. That's promised to us. So just have faith, believe in the Lord, and know that better times are ahead of us. Better times are ahead of us than this time.
Indeed.
This panic-stricken father is searching the debris at Camp Mystic for his missing 8-year-old daughter, Lenny McOwen. Lenny's father, Michael McOwen, can be seen in this video flipping mattresses and calling out for his child. Michael drove through the night from Austin after hearing the news of the flood, only to find chaos and devastation.
What's up, guys? Welcome yet to another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. So in today's video, we are going to react to the tragedy that is happening in Texas right now. So we all have heard by now that Texas is flooding, and there has been some massive flooding in Texas that has led to loss of lives and a lot of missing persons. How did this happen? This is the question that is on a lot of minds. Why did this happen, or why was this allowed to happen? Now, mega supporters and a lot of Americans are pointing hands at the Trump administration for this tragedy, because they are saying that there has been budget cuts to the national weather. They had programs like FEMA, like NOAA, that was supposed to protect the environment or make people do their work so they can inform people of any disaster or incoming disaster. Now, if people working there have lost their jobs or been laid off, and if the monies that they need to do their work has been cut off, how do they do their work effectively? That's the question that people are asking this administration. How do you expect the weather guys to do their work effectively when they do not have the resources that they usually have to do that work? Now, I'm going to roll out more videos. You can feel free to share your opinions and thoughts in the comment section. And then all credit goes to the owners of these videos. Now be reminded that some of the videos are quite sensitive, so viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, Texas. It is now July 5th. Have you even heard from your president?
Has he even made an announcement on social media? God knows he's on there all goddamn day, all goddamn night, and he hasn't said a word. He cuts all of the funding to the things that are going to keep people safe. Keep people safe, because he doesn't believe in climate change. Well, all of you don't believe in climate change for some strange reason, but that's another topic. But you haven't even heard a damn word out of the alleged president's mouth about all of the flooding that's taking place. All of the people in Texas who have died because of this flood. How many people are still missing? All of the property damage. But nope, not a tweet for you guys. None. That's because the alleged president doesn't care about you. Donald Trump doesn't care about the citizens of this country. He only cares about himself, his family, and his little billionaire buddies, and how they can line their pockets, cutting everything in this country that citizens need to survive. The Weather Service, NOAA, all of these things, FEMA. Who's going to help you rebuild? Who? The damn man hasn't even acknowledged you. Hasn't even acknowledged you. But yeah, happy 4th to you, right? Happy 4th of July. You gotta be kidding me. And you people fall for his bullshit. Line after line and time after fucking time. The man does not care about this country. He only cares about the billionaires. He only cares about how anything benefits him. The rest of us and the rest of this goddamn country, we are disposable. Anyway, it's just another friggin' day in Trump's America. Like, share, follow for more. This is Grim with Get the Rant, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god.
This is an urgent update on the catastrophic flooding in Texas. As of July 8th, over 100 people are now confirmed dead, making this one of the deadliest natural disasters in the state's history. At the heart of the tragedy is Camp Mystic, a Christian girls' summer camp on the banks of the Guadalupe River. Flash flooding struck in the early hours of July 4th while most of the camp was asleep. 27 campers and counselors are now confirmed dead. And today, 5 girls and 1 counselor remain missing, with search teams scouring more than 25 miles of riverbank and debris fields. The total death toll from the storm system across central Texas now stands at 109, with Kerr County alone accounting for 87 of those deaths, including 30 children. Rescue teams, both local and federal, have pulled over 1,000 people to safety. One rookie Coast Guard rescue swimmer, Scott Ruskin, is credited with helping save 165 lives, many of them young girls trapped by rising water. Thank you, sir, for your service. Officials have confirmed that no dams upstream were responsible for the flood. This was pure, unchecked nature. 10 to 15 inches of rain in just hours, hitting the most dangerous river valley in the country. There was no warning system in place, no sirens, no alerts, just the sound of roaring water and the screams of children. America continues to mourn, and the search in Texas continues. For some, there's still hope. For others, only grief. This is the tragedy the nation will never forget.
I want to call out Secretary Kristi Noem and Donald Trump for the statement she made about the Texas flooding. She said today that she was asked by one of the reporters, why was the National Weather Service not pinging phones before 7, and was it a fundamental failure of the federal government? And so she tries to play it off, well, it's a technology issue. She said that currently that Donald Trump is upgrading the technology of the National Weather Service because it has been left in place by the government for many years. Okay, let's get to some facts. They want to play everything off as it's the fault of technology. Well, let's go back to Trump's first administration. From 2017 to 2018, they cut about 20% of the National Weather Service positions for the National Weather Service forecasters, number one. Number two, under DOGE in February 27 of 2025, they let another 880 senior NOAA National Oceanographic Administration, Atmospheric Administration officials were fired. They fired another 108 probationary positions directly at the National Weather Service, and another 500 senior staff left with the early retirement reduction option. And furthermore, they have recommended in cutting funding for pretty much all the programs across the board from the National Weather Service, National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration, for equipment, for research, for you name it. And so, again, I would argue that it's not just equipment. Sure, better equipment is always great. I would say it's due to a lack of staffing to operate the equipment, to make the call, to be able to prepare the equipment, and to make sure that these notifications were sent out. They, like most places, they don't have the people. If you've seen, I believe it's Juan Morales here of NBC6, who's been in South Florida for 30 some years, has called out Trump for cutting the National Hurricane Center, the National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration, for the cuts that they've hurting them now with being able to forecast hurricanes accurately, all because of this. And that's the problem. They don't have the manpower. And this all goes back to Trump, goes back to Noam, goes back to everybody that's responsible for doing this, including Elon Musk. So there you have the reason why. They don't have the people to do it. It's plain and simple. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this one out. Love to hear from my Texans, my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, and my cuckoos. And pray for everybody that's in Texas, for those of us that are heartbroken as to what has happened. But again, this is the fault of the Trump administration, I would argue, by them cutting the staffing positions so they don't have the people to make the manpower to do what they need to do. That's where the fault lays. You know, facts are the facts. You cut the people. If they're not there, the people aren't there to make the calls. They're there to let everybody know what's going on. Donald Trump, you did it. There you have it.
Governor Abbott, this happened on your watch. You're the governor. You did not keep the people of Texas safe at all, did you? You failed. You failed miserably. The people of Texas count on leadership at the top. And guess what? These people all died because of a simple storm. Yeah, they weren't warned. They weren't told of the impending danger. Why not, Governor? Does it not rain in Texas? Do you not have floods in Texas? Why did this happen, Governor? It happened because you and the president together failed the people of Texas. You failed the people of Texas straight up. There's no excuses. You guys are at the top. We all know what President Trump did in his administration. But you failed to see, Governor Abbott, how it would affect your people of Texas. And because of your failure, along with the president, people died. A lot of people. If I was in Texas, I would not feel safe. Not with you as governor. I wouldn't feel safe at all.
People didn't have to lose their lives. It's so sad that this happened. Because then it should have been anticipated that this dam could have risen as high as that. But then the rate at which it was even rising was alarming. So if people were evacuated or if people were given due warning, especially the kids that were taken on camp, if they were given due warning, I'm sure that trip would have been cancelled and people would have stayed back or moved from that dangerous area. Now, we cannot stop the natural disaster if a natural disaster is happening, but what you can prevent is for people to be around that natural disaster. And so due warning should have gone forth, which didn't. Now, whatever people are saying is making sense, because if all these things that's supposed to make someone work effectively, efficiently is not there, how do they do that work? Now, in the Trump administration, it looks like lots and lots of focus are being put on deportations, okay, and a lot of money being pushed to creating detention centers. Now also paying airlines to deport people. Now, imagine the amount of money that is being pushed there. What if some of this money was also being pushed to this most important sector that could save people's lives? Where is the priority here? That's what people are asking. What is the priority? What is the government's priority? Is it just deporting people, or actually protecting the lives of its citizens. This is hard and it's so unfortunate. Like, this is happening in Texas. Oh, this shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have happened. It's so unfortunate that it did happen and people have lost their family members, and it's so sad. Now, our heartfelt thoughts and prayers goes to the affected families. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video as well. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.